Hi, my name is Skylar Boshin and welcome back to my channel. Please subscribe and click the notification button so that you can get notified every time that I have a new video. Also, please go check out my website, skylarboshin.com. On there I have newsletters that I post once a month about different topics surrounding victim advocacy, sexual assault, and more. And today we are going to be talking about sextortion. So I made a video about my personal sextortion story, which I will have right here linked, that you can go watch that. I recommend watching that video before this one. This video is going to be all about what is sextortion, defining it, understanding what it is, and then also how we can prevent it. So I became a survivor of sextortion when I was 15 years old. My sextortion occurred between 14 and 15. Sextortion is a horrific crime. Sextortion happens when someone is blackmailed into sending sexually explicit pictures. And usually once one photo is sent, then they use those photos as leverage to keep the victim scared and afraid and to continue having them send videos, pictures, and more. And sometimes they even live stream these things, and it is a really vicious cycle. I ended up being sextorted for 92 consecutive days, and some people also call this a virtual abduction because you are in no way in control of any aspect of your life. For instance, for those 92 days, I was under the control of my perpetrator. I had to do everything he said whenever he said it, or there would be consequences. The impact of sextortion is staggering, and the prevalence now today with the advanced technology that we have and the access that children have to that technology, it is even more of a topic that needs to be addressed. A lot of people that experience sextortion experience a lot of shame, blame, similar to how people feel after experiencing a sexual assault, because again, this is a sexual assault that is just based online. And sometimes it can even be more devastating to the victim than physical abuse is, because you are being coerced into abusing yourself and exploiting yourself because another person is threatening and blackmailing you. And that can be extremely detrimental to the person's health, especially when they are growing up and are still a minor. But this also happens to adults. So there's so many different circumstances that sextortion can come from. A lot of the time, sextortion can coincide with other crimes, so including stalking, identity theft, sexual assault, and many more. There's an amazing organization called Thorn, and I will link them right here. They are an incredible organization that works tirelessly to address the impact of social media on children when it relates to sexual assault and exploitation. For instance, they have a discussion guide so a parent can learn exactly what they should be talking to their kid about regarding sextortion. Sextortion is a topic that every child should know about because this crime is now happening to children 8 years old even. A lot of the time we think of sextortion happening to 15-year-olds and 18-year-olds, but nowadays this is happening to our elementary school children. This is happening to children everywhere. And that in itself is terrifying. Thorn provides a lot of different tips, and on my newsletter about sextortion, you can find all of those links as well. Preventing sextortion can be achieved through education and awareness. And a lot of that can happen in the home. The school safety website recently in 2023 added a child exploitation section to their website that schools can access, and they can utilize all of the different resources and educate on those resources. On schoolsafety.gov, they provide a lot of other resources, one of which is Know to Protect. Know to Protect is a resource that can be extremely helpful, mainly because they have a tip line for sextortion that is covered by trained personnel that will then direct that information to Homeland Security, and then that information will be investigated. The organization also has a lot of different campaigns and other resources, along with outreach programs to educate the public. One of the presentations that they have available is called iGuardian, and this is for parents, teens, tweens, 10 and up, and you can request a presentation to your school or to any other event by emailing. All of this information is also on my website. My favorite resource that I have found is called Net Smarts. And basically it provides age-appropriate videos that explain and help children understand sextortion and child exploitation. And they have different trainings and classroom activities that are already formed and made so that teachers and other people can use those to educate their children and equip them with the knowledge to ensure that they don't experience sextortion. They have a series that is called Into the Cloud that is targeted for children, and there are 2 seasons of it on YouTube and are extremely helpful for kids that I definitely recommend you take a look at. There's also videos that are targeted for an older audience that can also be very impactful and educational. Another resource that I really want to emphasize is Take It Down, which if you end up having your explicit or nude pictures online that were from when you were underage or are now underage and still are, Take It Down is a website that can help you take all of those photos off the internet. They have a phone number as well as an email, and they have a great ability to assist children and adults with getting underage pictures taken offline. And if you have experienced sextortion, I highly recommend calling into Team Hope. Team Hope is an organization of people from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and they are all people who have lived experiences of sextortion or child exploitation in some form. Calling them can be very therapeutic for survivors. One thing that a lot of people don't realize or consider is the devastating impact of sextortion. There are so many people that have lost their lives to sextortion, and that is just incredibly heartbreaking. I know for me, when I was sextorted, I was told by my perpetrator that I would be the one that would be punished, that I could go to jail if I reported or told anyone. And I believed that because I was a 14, 15-year-old, but also because I had a very manipulative person on the other end of my phone who knew exactly what to say to ensure that I would not tell anyone what was happening. And I think it's essential for the community to know about this crime, know how often it happens, understand that there is something that you can do to protect children in your community and yourself. Thank you so much for watching this video. This topic means a lot to me. I'm very curious to hear if there are any other topics that you would like to hear about that have to do with victim advocacy